Continuing our reading in Poppy's Return by Avi. This time it's chapter 21, Mephitis Meets Someone. A dejected Mephitis waddled slowly through the old orchard in the direction of Glitter Creek. He was very sorry he had come on this trip. It had nothing to do with Junior. Junior was his best friend. For that matter, his only friend. It was just that he had thought the trip would be fun, something different. But all the talk of Junior's family upset him. It reminded Mephitis of his own family, the one he didn't have. He had never felt lonelier. That the day was bright and balmy was nothing to him. That he kept brushing by bright flowers, passing by fallen, crisp, ripe apples, was of no importance. He hardly felt or smelled the tall, sweet grasses that brushed his face. He would have preferred a soggy, gloomy rain. If it rained, he would have had an excuse to dig under a rock or curl up in a log and go to sleep. Better to sleep than to be lonely. Sleep passed the empty times. Sleeping meant he didn't have to solve problems. And if he didn't try to solve problems, he couldn't fail at it. He hated failing. Best of all, he slept. He didn't have to think. He had done a lot of napping before he became friends with Junior, except Mephitis was not sleepy. He did feel badly that he had broken his promise to Junior about staying at Gray House, but if the mice there were like Junior's Aunt Lily, endlessly complaining about his stink and his manners, it would be just awful. Skunks stunk sometimes. That's the way it was. A good thing, too, he had chased the bears away, hadn't he? Upon reaching the edge of the orchard, Mephitis had to decide which direction to go. What he really wanted was to run off to some place where no one knew him. A new place where he could be a brand new skunk. Exactly how that skunk would be new and different, he wasn't sure. Maybe, if he went far enough away, it would be easier to figure out. That thought led to another. He would go to the creek and follow it for as long as he could. He'd let the creek lead him. His decision filled Mephitis with new energy. He hurried along and soon reached the bank of the creek, which he scrambled down so fast he could hardly stop himself. Except someone was already there. "Watch out, Stinktail," said the porcupine. "You almost ran into me. That wouldn't be too smart." When Mephitis realized it was the porcupine who lived near Junior's place, he backed away. "I'm sorry," he muttered. "Didn't see you." "Try opening your eyes," muttered Aerith. "I said I'm sorry," said the skunk. He wheeled about and started off down the side of the creek. "Hold it!" cried Aerith. Mephitis stopped. "You aren't by any crumb-covered chance Junior's skunk friend, are you?" "What if I was?" "Well, then, what are you doing here? Weren't you going with Poppy? Where is she?" "Junior went to that mouse's family house. I don't know where Miss Poppy is." "How come you're not with them?" said Aerith. "Changed my mind." "Glad you have a mind to change," said Aerith. "Buzz off," said the skunk, and started off again. "Hey, whippoorwit," cried Aerith. "Did you get into a fight with Poppy?" Mephitis stopped. "No way." "You rude to her? She send you home?" "Why should I be nasty to her?" "Because you're a teenager, snot soup." "Hey, what's with you?" said Mephitis. "How come you're always saying mean things? I'd never be rude to Miss Poppy. I like her." "You do?" "Yeah, she treats me decent. Not like some I could mention." She treats everyone nice," muttered Aerith. "Even you?" asked Mephitis. "Especially me," said Aerith. "That's a stretch." "Hey, Blotbrain, are you looking to get a prickly tail in your face?" Aerith advanced on the skunk. "Get any closer, Pincushion," returned Mephitis. and you'll get some stink in your snout. He spun about, stood on his front paws, and aimed his backside right at Aerith. Oh, snake suspenders! Cried Aerith, retreating a few steps. Don't get yourself in an uproar. I was just worried about Poppy. Mephitis lowered himself and took a few steps away, but then paused and looked around at Aerith. The thing is, he said, we got separated from Miss Poppy. How come? Me and Junior went ahead, figured she'd catch up to us, but then Junior went on his own. How come you didn't go with him? Mephitis looked away. I don't belong there. I mean, it's just for mice. Anyway, that Aunt Lily didn't like me. And you let that bother you? I guess. She didn't like me either, said Aerith. You're right, she didn't. What did she say? Well, said you were big and ungainly. Mephitis pursed his lips and folded his paws together as he repeated Lily's words in his best imitation of her dainty speech. Oh, that mouse, said Aerith, has as much brains as a pointy end of a sharp pin. What did Poppy say? Told Lily you were her best friend. Which is why, said the porcupine. I thought I'd hang around in case she needed me. Know what? I chased a bear away from her. How'd you manage that? My stink. Good for you, cried Aerith. A little stink in the right place can make the world sweeter. You really think so? Hey, would you like things to be all one color? No. Okay then. What stinks up my nose could be sweet up yours. Mephitis grinned. You think I should stay around too? He asked. Aerith stared at the skunk. No, suffering spider slippers. Between my quills and your stench, there isn't much the two of us couldn't chase off. Mephitis laughed. That's cool. Except, I think we should get a little closer to that gray house. Keep an eye on things. You mean me with you? Said Mephitis. It depends on how choosy you are about friends, said Aerith. Junior's always talking about you, about the things you say and do. Would you talk to me like that? Oh, dolphin dandruff. There's nothing special about the way I talk. I'll talk the way I talk to everybody. What's your name anyway? Mephitis. Okay, misfit, let's go. Yes, sir. Not sir. The name is Aerith. Mephitis grinned. As side by side the skunk and porcupine started back toward Gray House. As they went, Aerith talked and Mephitis listened. That's the end of chapter 21.